My friends, I want to speak to you tonight about a certain kind of light. Not the blinding noon sun, but the first, fragile light of dawn that finds its way through the cracks in a shutter. I want to speak about the architects of that dawn, people among us, perhaps you, who have known deep darkness, and who have, against every instinct, learned to build a morning from within. We see them. We wonder at them, the one who bears a loss that should have ended them, yet still shows up with kindness. The one whose private struggle is a silent, daily war, yet whose hands still create, comfort, and contribute. They walk with a quiet steadiness. We call them strong, we call them resilient, as if it were a gift they were born with, a magic armor. But I am here to tell you, resilience is not a trait. It is not a shield. It is an architecture, a painstaking, personal, interior architecture. And the people who live a so-called normal life amid the storm are not the untouched. They are the master builders. They have taken the rubble of their despair, the shattered pieces of their old selves, and they have designed, brick by brick, a structure within their soul that can house both the unbearable pain and the stubborn hope. They have built what I call the architecture of an unbreakable dawn. The first and most brutal act of this construction is laying the foundation, and that foundation is radical acceptance. This is not surrender. It is not saying, "This is fine." It is the warrior, kneeling, ashes of what was, finally whispering, "This is what is. This is the new, unchosen ground beneath my feet." It is the end of the exhausting civil war against a reality that will not change. Why me? Must give way to what now? This acceptance is hard, unyielding ground. It feels like defeat, but it is the only ground solid enough to build upon. You cannot build a life on the quicksand of denial. The resilient soul looks at the scorched earth and says, "I will begin here." Upon this honest ground, they erect the pillars. These are the load-bearing structures, the vertical truths that hold their sky from collapsing. We call them pillars of meaning. Viktor Frankl, who survived the unspeakable, taught us that he who has a why can endure almost anyhow. For some, this pillar is carved with the names of others. A child, a loved one, a community. Their why is love, externalized, a responsibility that pulls them through the day. For others, the pillar is a promise to the future. I will not let this break me into someone cruel. I will learn depth. I will use this pain to see others more clearly. The suffering is integrated. It becomes part of the story's meaning, not just its wreckage. Now, every building needs walls. The walls of this inner sanctuary are made of cognitive flexibility. These are not rigid, brittle walls of blind positivity. They are flexible, intelligent walls. They are the ability to hold two truths at once. To say, "My heart is utterly broken," and in the same breath, to notice, "and the steam rising from my coffee is beautiful." This is not delusion. It is emotional panorama. It is the conscious choice to widen the aperture, to refuse to let pain monopolize your entire sensory world. These walls have movable windows. Some days, the window frames only the next single, manageable task. Just breathe. Just stand up. Other days, it frames a broader horizon of possibility. The resilient mind is a master reframer, finding the window in the wall. And those windows are crucial. For a fortress without windows is a tomb. The windows in this architecture are vulnerability. They are the openings that allow connection. This is where pride is sacrificed for survival. It is the courage to say, "I am not okay," and to let that truth be witnessed. It is the strength to accept the casserole, the silent company, the hand on your shoulder. The resilient understand that their structure does not stand alone. It is buttressed by the love and support of others. These connections are the steel beams that others help you weld into place when your own hands are too tired to lift the weight. The window is an opening for grace to enter. Inside this structure, life is lived. And here, in the interior, resilience is a practice of the mundane. It is found in the rituals of the ordinary. When the outer world is chaos, the inner world asserts order through sacred, simple repetition. Making the bed, walking the dog, preparing a meal. These are not trivial. They are incantations. They are proof, performed by your own hands, that you still have domain over some small square of your universe. They are the daily maintenance that keeps the soul from ruin. And at the very heart of this interior, there must be a hearth, a source of warmth. This is the sanctuary of self-compassion. This, my friends, is the ultimate rebellion. When the world is harsh, the resilient refuse to become its echo inside their own mind. They silence the inner tyrant that shouts, "You are weak for hurting." They cultivate the voice of a gentle ally. "This is so hard. You are carrying so much. It is okay to rest." They offer themselves the kindness they would freely give to any suffering friend. This self-compassion is the fire that keeps the whole structure livable. It is the antidote to the cold of shame. This architecture is not built in a day. It is built over a lifetime, with a blueprint drawn in the language of time itself. The resilient understand the alchemy of integration. They know healing is not a straight line. There are rooms for grief that you visit and revisit. There are corridors that lead in circles. A good day does not mean the work is over. A hard day does not mean you have failed. It means you are human, building. With time, the jagged shard of trauma can be smoothed, set into the mosaic of your being. It becomes part of your history, not your entire present. So to anyone here who feels broken, who is in the midst of the storm, look not to those who seem untouched. Look to the builders. Look to the architects of dawn. Your task is not to be unbreakable. Your task is to become a master repairer. Your materials are at hand. The honest ground of your acceptance, the pillars of meaning you choose to erect, the flexible strength of your perspective, the windows of vulnerability you dare to open, the daily rituals that ground you, and the radical revolutionary warmth of your own compassion. You are not just weathering a storm. You are constructing a shelter, and within that shelter, you are learning the most profound skill a human can know: how to generate your own dawn. You are polishing the surfaces to catch the first light. You are learning to build a morning from the inside out. That is why some never give up. They have simply become too committed to their own creation. They are both the architect and the inhabitant of a soul designed to welcome the light, no matter how long the night has been. May we all find the courage to pick up our tools, to build, to mend, to welcome our own unbreakable dawn. Thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting the channel. And without your support, the life is a hard stone.